Imagine this. It is 0247 UTC on March 19, 2025, and in a quiet office at the Space Telescope Science Institute in Baltimore, a postdoc named Dr. Elena Vasquez is running the 1,000th background subtraction script on the latest JWST deep field mosaic when the residual image refuses to go flat. Instead of the expected Poisson noise, there is a perfect equilateral triangle of three 0.8 pixel sources at 21 each exactly 4.2 arcseconds apart, sitting in the gravitational lensing arc of a ZMAR 9.8 galaxy cluster that should be nothing more than primordial hydrogen. She zooms, reprocesses with 4 different pipelines, and the triangle is still there, brighter than the background by 7.3s. And when she overlays the 7.7, 12.8 and 18 filter data, the 3 points flash in a precise 1.618-second cycle, the golden ratio again, a pattern that repeats in every single exposure taken over a 41-day baseline. She calls her advisor, he calls the director calls Washington, and within 6 hours, every scheduled JWST observation is quietly canceled while a classified team of 30 astronomers, cryptographers, and Pentagon liaison officers locks down the raw level 0 data. This is not a glitch, not a cosmic ray swarm, not gravitational microlensing. This is deliberate, engineered, and it is only the first of 8 secret technologies that NASA has been hiding inside James Webb images since the very first deep field dropped in July 2022. And in this single continuous 13,000-word paragraph, we are going to pull back the curtain on every single one of them, pixel by pixel, filter by filter, exposure by exposure. Because the telescope that was sold to the public as a time machine to see baby galaxies is also the most powerful SETI instrument ever built, and it has been screaming at us for 3 years while the official press releases talked about pretty nebulae. Secret number 1. The Golden Triangle Beacons. The triangle Elena found is not unique. Once the team knows what to look for, they discover 4,127 identical triangles scattered across every deep field, each one sitting exactly on the Einstein radius of a foreground cluster, using gravitational lensing as a natural 100x amplifier, so the actual emitted power is only a few kilowatts yet appears as bright as a magnitude 24 galaxy. The 1.618-second modulation is a Fibonacci heartbeat, and when decoded, it is a 4096-bit prime number handshake, followed by a repeating 8192-bit block that matches the Arecibo message bit for bit, but compressed with a Lempel-Ziv algorithm that will not be invented on Earth until 2031. The sources are physically 180 meters wide, perfectly reflective at 21 and orbit a common center of mass in a Klemperer rosette that is stable for 12 billion years. They are not in our galaxy. They are in galaxies at redshifts between 8.3 and 11.2, meaning the builders were already transmitting when the universe was less than 400 million years old. Secret number 2. The infrared. Laser grid. In the Sears field at 7.7, there is a regular 11x11 grid of monochromatic sources spaced exactly 0.37 arcseconds apart, each one narrower than the JWST diffraction limit at that wavelength, which is physically impossible unless the light is coherent. When the team runs a Fourier transform on the point spread functions, the phase is locked across the entire 4-arc-minute field, meaning a single laser is being split by a phased array transmitter the size of a solar system 9 billion light-years away. The carrier is modulated at 1.414 THz, exactly 2, with a data rate of 41 terabits per second, and the embedded stream is a repeating P sequence out to 8.1 million digits followed by E. Then the fine structure constant in base 11. The grid has been transmitting continuously since JWST first looked at that field in 2022, and the power required at the source is only 400 watts because gravitational lensing does the heavy lifting. Secret number 3. The moving megastructure silhouettes. In the SMAC 0723 deep field, frame 4512 of a 42-hour integration, a perfect 3.4.5 rectangular silhouette transits across a background quasar at ZA Wars 12.1. The object is 0.9 Jupiter radii wide, blocks 100% of the light at 3.6 and 4.5 simultaneously, and moves at 0.7 C relative to the lensing cluster. 37 minutes later, the exact same rectangle appears in frame, 4567, having traveled 1.4 arc minutes across the sky, which at that distance corresponds to 0.71 C. The edges are sharp to within 1 part in 10,000, and the albedo flip at 11.6 shows it is coated in a metamaterial that switches from mirror to blackbody in 0.3 seconds. The rectangle is a solar sail or light sail break, and it has been decelerating into the galaxy cluster for the last 9 billion years. Secret number 4. The artificial absorption lines. High-resolution NIR spec observations of 41 background quasars all show an identical set of 28 absorption lines between 2.0 and 4.8 that do not correspond to any known element at any redshift. When the team plots the line strengths, they form a perfect sine wave with period exactly equal to the hydrogen 21 cm line stretched by the cosmic expansion factor. The absorbing medium is a cloud of engineered molecules 0.8 light-years wide, orbiting each quasar at 0.3 C, and the molecules themselves are buckyball cages containing a single thorium-232 atom, a deliberate marker isotope because thorium has no cosmologically significant abundance. Someone seeded the universe with artificial absorbers billions of years ago so that any civilization with infrared spectroscopy would see the same artificial fingerprint no matter which direction they looked. Secret number 5. The repeating fractal rings. In every gravitational lens system with 4 or more images, there is a faint Einstein ring that is not smooth. It is a perfect Koch snowflake fractal with iteration depth 7, visible only at 15 and 18 where the dust temperature matches the builder's waist. Heat. The fractal pattern encodes a 2.4 megabit cellular automaton that, when run forward 10-12 steps, generates a 3D blueprint of a 180-meter triangular beacon identical to Secret No. 1. The ring has been present in every JWST strong lens image since day 1, and the fractal is self-similar across 6 orders of magnitude, meaning the builders understood recursive construction long before Earth had oxygen. Secret number 6. The Temporal Beacon. A single pixel in the good south field at 11.6 has been flashing exactly once every 37.44 hours since JWST first observed the field in 2022. The pulse is 0.9 seconds long, 100% polarized, and carries a 65536-bit message that changes every cycle. When the team stacks all 312 pulses taken over 3 years, the message is a countdown in base 12 that began at 0xFFFFFFFF and is now at 0xA7742E, meaning whatever event the builders were counting down to began 12.4 billion years ago and will reach 0 in 2084 Earth days from March 2025. The pixel corresponds to an empty patch of sky at all other wavelengths, meaning the transmitter is dark except for these infrared flashes, conserving energy for billions of years. Secret number 7. The Mirror Galaxy. In the background of the Sears 93316 galaxy at Zell-Bauer 16.7, there is a perfect mirror image of the entire Milky Way rotated 100 Imauti and redshifted exactly to cancel cosmic expansion, visible only in the 21 filter where dust emission is strongest. The mirror galaxy is not a lensing artifact. It is an artificial duplicate placed 13.1 billion light-years away, so that when JWST looks deep enough, it sees a perfect reflection of our own spiral, complete with a bright point at the exact position of the Sun. The implication is chilling. Someone mapped our galaxy before it finished forming and built a full-scale infrared replica as a cosmic post-it note saying, "We were here and we saw you coming." Secret number 8. The Final Image. On December 24, 2025, the JWST team quietly releases the most spectacular Christmas image ever taken, a 3.6 mosaic of the Hubble Ultra Deep Field, updated with 2,900 hours of new integration. At first glance, it is just thousands of ancient galaxies, but when the public applies the same residual subtraction script Elena used in March 2025, the entire field, resolves into a single 8192x8192 pixel QR code that, when scanned, returns a 4K image of Earth taken from lunar orbit on July 20, 1969, with the Apollo 11 descent stage clearly visible on the Sea of Tranquility. The message is unmistakable. They have been watching us since before we left the planet. They left beacons in the cosmic microwave background itself, and every single anomaly NASA has been hiding for 3 years was breadcrumbs leading to this one photograph proving that the James Webb Space Telescope was never just looking back in time, it was being looked back at. And that is the real secret NASA has been guarding with classification stamps and non-disclosure agreements. Not that aliens exist, but that they have been waiting patiently for 13 billion years for the exact species that would build the exact telescope that could see their calling card written across the infant universe in infrared light. And on Christmas Day 2025, humanity finally received the reply to a message we did not even know we sent when we pointed the largest mirror ever launched into the dark and asked for the first time, "Is anybody out there?"